Hello, and welcome to A Bold and Distant Future. Yes, it's October 16th. We are in the 16th day of a federal government shutdown, and makes it easy to remember how many days the shutdown started October 1st. We're in day 16. And I'm joined here today. My name is Roy, and I'm joined here today by our good friend Eddie. How you doing, Eddie?
Well, I'm doing as well as can be expected under the circumstances.
No kidding. Our country's going to hell in a handbasket. Is that a polite way
I
of putting
think our
it?
beloved president has pointed out that some of the cities are hellholes, so maybe that's what's going on to the entire country now, starting in, I believe, Washington, D.C.
It is insane.
By the way, Valentine was in Washington, D.C. twice, actually, once coming and once going, and was shocked to see the amount of police activity around the city and helicopters, et cetera, going, making it appear as if it's a war zone, even though you couldn't see it on the street, other than the National Guard running around and doing whatever they were doing.
Well,
Pretending there's a war.
our current king in the White House, if you want to protest against him, go to the No Kings March, Saturday, October 18th, everyone.
Definitely going.
Yes, find a march or a protest or activity on the nokings.org website. I think we just had Scooter join us. Are you there, Scooter? I don't hear you, Scooter. Maybe your mic's off.
That's because I was on mute.
Okay.
Hi.
Hey, welcome aboard, Scooter. We've kind of gotten started here.
Yeah, I'm sorry I'm late.
No problem. We just flow in and flow out. No issues. Yeah, it just feels grim, and it's getting exceedingly more and more grim each day. All these, I guess I watch too many ICE abduction videos.
Oh God.
It's just horrible.
That's not a way to fill in your week.
No, it's not. And I need to take a mental break from watching the news. I
Come
think
on up here. We'll get you out into the wilderness, and you'll forget where you are.
But if you do go to a protest this weekend, the secret police at protests are using cellular data to track, identify, and even intercept your communications with these cell site simulators. So an idea is to leave your phone at home or in a Faraday bag, whatever that is. I don't have one. Or bring a burner phone. Bring your burner phone, Scooter.
I wish I had a burner phone.
But this is a real consideration because they could be gathering names for for rounding us up later.
So I'm curious about the Faraday bag. Would an alternate be to wrap it up in multiple layers of tinfoil?
No, I don't know. I have no idea how a Faraday bag works.
I'll look it up.
But they do have. Yeah, that's what we should be training people how to make Faraday bags on this channel.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
where we're
sure
headed.
I'm sure they involve some kind of metal, lead or something. It's kind of like those things that people wanted to put over the new PG&E units that they put on your house to read your meter, supposedly, allegedly.
I would just say turn off the cell service and the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth and everything, but I don't even know if that is enough. Your signal can still be intercepted. Maybe we're being overreactive or paranoid, but things are getting scary.
That might be a question for Siri.
That is a good question for Siri. Are we overreacting, Siri?
No, that isn't what I was talking about. Is there a way to
No,
make
you are
it so
not
that your cell phone
overreacting.
is not interceptable? Although maybe she can answer the other question too.
Well, I think I mentioned earlier, it's day 16 of the government shutdown, and we'll talk about the shutdown in a minute, but the first topic we want to talk about here is just a potpourri that I like to do at the beginning. In Madrid, some activists splattered red paint over a painting of Christopher Columbus, I guess, discovering the New World. And this is the kind of thing that's going on in Europe. It seems interesting that, I guess, Columbus is a national hero in Spain.
I don't know if you heard what the president said about Columbus Day, bringing it back and glorifying an American hero. And I thought, was this America when Columbus arrived?
It wasn't even America after Columbus arrived.
Good point. And then the other thing is, I'm curious about how you can discover something when there's already a boatload of people here. Didn't they discover it?
Yeah, there are already people here.
Just checking.
Well,
They're in the unfortunate position of being discovered.
Charlie Kirk's widow, Erica Kirk, accepted his Presidential Medal of Freedom, and she wore black. She wore white to the memorial, but she wore black to the recipient of this.
Oh yeah, this thing, man. The
This
young
is-
Republicans, unbelievable.
Yeah. Is there going to be any pushback against this?
Oh,
Why are we surprised?
they're already setting up, scenarios to deny and say, oh, it was, people on the fringes and blah, blah, blah. It's so ludicrous how they continue to push back with nothing but more lies on top of what already happened.
Yeah, again, why are we surprised?
We're not.
These are the culprits. They look like fresh-faced young Republicans.
To me, that looks like a group of fatties.
Yeah, they wouldn't
What are they
pass-
even doing in government? I mean, if you want to get them out of the military, why not get them out of the whole shooting match?
Yeah, Pete Hegseth doesn't like fat people, apparently, so what's going on?
I don't know. I don't know if you saw the video of him trying to do pull-ups.
What a
Let's just
poser.
say he wasn't as good as I was in high school.
This is the enemy.
Yep.
But I'm not scared, but these guys, I don't know. But yeah, I don't think I'm surprised, but now it's in black and white. We've got the goods on them. Are any Republicans going to stand up against them and say, hey, you're not a Republican? No. I haven't heard one Republican. Peter Thiel made a series of lectures, and I think, Scooter, you mentioned this, but there's a wonderful article in the Washington Post about it that sort of outlines his basic talk. And one of the big takeaways, I think, one of his quotes was that democracy and freedom cannot coexist.
Oh my God.
That's one of his takeaways from this thing. It's like, so we can't have democracy if we truly want freedom, which, man, you have to twist your brain into a pretzel to figure out that logic.
It means his freedom.
Exactly. It's his freedom, isn't it?
So what does he want to be free from? That's the question. And why is democracy standing in the way of his freedom?
Well, because you can't enslave certain people as a result of your beliefs.
Yeah, that and regulation.
Yeah, it's mainly a protest against regulation of AI and other platforms that I think he's addressing.
Well, he's addressing it.
That's exactly.
He pretty much says it.
Right.
He doesn't want constraints on the development of technology or the usage therein.
Mm-hmm. You want to be
He also
free.
says that Greta Thunberg is the Antichrist.
Who?
Greta. You know Greta.
Oh, Greta.
Yeah.
She's the Antichrist.
Well, because she's proposing that the way to deal with climate change is to step back on all of the technology necessary for resource extraction, right?
Right.
And therefore she stands in the way of progress. Therefore she is the Antichrist.
Well, lots of people are protesting in Chicago. Rightfully so. It looks like they're out on the streets. It seems like every other day there's another march there, but it's hard to get dates. I believe this happened just last week.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting what happens on Saturday in Chicago.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens on Saturday around the U.S. There's 2,500 registered protests taking place, and I'm wondering how the media will handle it, or if they'll handle it at all, because they've been giving very little press to these things, the first two.
I didn't even realize there were two. I knew there was one.
What I found surprising was that Stephen Colbert mentioned the No Kings marches in his monologue.
Yes, he did, and
Last
he gave
night.
an address to get there.
Yeah.
QR code or something. But the first one was that we went to was in the beginning of the summer, and then there was another one in the middle of the summer that was quite a bit bigger.
Well, that's good. It means the momentum's growing. It's not going away. And you start having Stephen Colbert and others of that ilk expressing an interest. That's kind of cool.
It might be the first time No Kings has been mentioned on network, lamestream media, whatever, This is the protest in Portland, which I love what they're doing there with all their costumes and keeping it silly and ridiculous.
There was a really interesting little video clip of Kristi Noem on the rooftop of a building overlooking the protest, and the cameraman looked down, and there was that one guy in the chicken suit.
Right. Yeah.
And the news person is asking her, "Well, what do you think about these protests?" I'm just laughing. I love the way Portland's handling it. It's just fabulous.
Yeah, it's really
The
good.
naked bike ride. Oh my God, you got to be joking. What a perfect way to do it.
Yeah, well, that's what a war zone looks like, right?
Yeah.
Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House, came out against the naked bike ride, saying it was, radical, dangerous.
Well, he's calling the protest people that hate America or something like that.
Yeah, the
A couple
war
of
on
people-
America or something.
No, he's calling it people that hate America are
Right.
having this protest on the 18th.
Yeah, it's a talking point now.
Yeah.
What we're doing is a Hate America rally. We're the pro-Hamas, Hate America people who are paid by Soros. I'm waiting for my check. I haven't seen it yet.
I think we need to bring American flags to our protests.
I think we have to not be stupid. In Minneapolis, anyway, and I'm really worried about this, there is always the after party. You have the protests, you got all the union guys showing up, all the people of faith and all the old folks and so on. They go to the protests, they go home, and then Black Bloc and a bunch of other folks stick around, and that's when things turn to, turn to shit. And that's when the cops come in. The cops always do like this clearance. And I remember after the Republican convention, they basically just did a sweep. After the demonstration was over, everybody was kind of hanging out. They were surrounded, and the cops just went through, loaded them into vans. They're used to loading people into vans. It's their thing.
I think that's a good point. People that linger on and then, gets into the dark night hours and you get the tear gas out and people start getting pushed around. And then that is great footage to support the Republican out of control terrorist protesters narrative,
And that's what people see. They don't see the peaceful demonstration that happened several hours earlier. They see this.
Exactly. Well, the government is still shut down. We're in day 16 of the shutdown. We're almost, I think the longest shutdown before was 35 days. Donald Trump had
30,
us.
I think it was a little more than that. They were talking about it last night on the news. It was in 19 when Trump was in the White House the first time.
But they say that the previous shutdown cost our government $5 billion. This one, everyone says it's going to go longer, at least till the end of October. So it could be in that range again in terms of cost. Trump posted a parody video to his Truth Social page, and it uses the song Don't Fear the Reaper. And it's a horribly intimidating kind of video they were trying to make. And I put a couple of screenshots of it coming up, but basically it's showing him dressed as as death with a, scythe or whatever, ready to the Grim Reaper, don't fear the Reaper. And
I'm
it's,
sure Blue Oyster Cult is going to have something to say about that.
so here are some of the images. Trump with a cowbell in front of the White House, no, in front of the Capitol.
Who's the guy on the drums?
I think that's supposed to be J.D. Vance.
Absolutely not J.D. Vance.
that it's this like little mini rock video with this ominous kind of imagery, like skeleton figures playing drums and guitars, and the Capitol and lightning, we are the storm kind of imagery. And this is our president posting this to his Truth Social page.
Yeah, that in itself is mind-blowing. That's that's the tip of the iceberg, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's just the frosting on the cake.
That picture of him with the cowbell is fascinating. That's got to be his legacy, right there. That picture.
Is he trying to mime the legendary scene with more cowbell from SNL?
I think so, probably. So here's more of their overt racism. They did another, Jeffries, Senator Jeffries with the sombrero, and this hall of infamous Nancy Pelosi. I think that's Marjorie Waters. Is that her name? Chuck Schumer and Jeffries in this hallway, and this kind of figure of death walking down there. And then Russell Vought is the Reaper. It's a horrible video, meant to intimidate, meant to exert their power on some psychic level, or maybe it's just to get their base riled up. Yeah, But this is what our president chooses to send out during the middle of a shutdown.
I'm curious about that top right image. Here, the power is gone, and the White House in the background.
That was the Capitol, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
wasn't it? That's what I mean. Sorry. But that's an interesting message, isn't it?
Yeah, the implications of that are kind of, terrifying.
I'm right there with you.
They have the power now. This, declaration of power.
So, circling back to the No Kings thing, there's a concern, and I don't know how real the concern is, but something to think about, that on Saturday the 18th, Trump will sign or invoke the Insurrection Act. Just something to think about if you're not scared enough already.
Let's keep that one in mind. Is that the rumor? Is that what people are saying?
That is a rumor. Yeah, one of several. All right, so Liarfield, lawyer, attorney Pam Bondi. Oh, this is a trip. Why she is not getting contempt of Congress, I don't know.
Her question and answering session was just horrible. Pam Bondi, I didn't know she's about 59 years old. I didn't realize she was that old.
Boy, that's somebody that's had quite a few facelifts then, isn't it?
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, what is it about Republican women and the Barbie look?
I don't know.
That does seem to be part of the deal. Diminutive, well-dressed, made up to the nines, that's the look. Barbie
And
describes it.
skinny as an X-ray and always with platinum blonde hair.
Yeah, except for Kristi Noem.
Well, she's the outlier.
Yeah, it's like a Betty and Veronica thing, huh?
Who's Jughead?
I would probably go with Vance, but J.D. Vance is
You guys
Trump.
watching the South Parks? I haven't seen the latest episode. It's supposed to drop today, but have you been watching South Park this season?
I haven't. I watched the first one, but I haven't watched any since then. I need to go back and watch them.
Yeah, I
You need
picked
to
them
go
up
back
on.
and watch them.
I picked them up on YouTube.
Yeah. So there's this whole kind of shtick where Mar-a-Lago is Fantasy Island. And, and Trump obviously is what I don't even remember. Montalvo?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
actor that, yeah. And then J.D. Vance is the little midget guy.
Oh, how funny.
With the same voice, of course.
With the same voice, yes.
Yeah, it's kind of. I love the irreverence that's happening there. I'm surprised that they haven't gone after it. Of course, there's been a few mentions, but that they haven't really done anything yet. That's another thing we can wait for.
I hope we can get together and do a debrief on Sunday after the protests, and I'm asking anyone here, send some pictures of people's signage. And that would be a nice thing maybe to run as a back screen if we talk about what happened on our particular marches on Sunday when we're talking about maybe 5:30. But if you can make it, that would be great.
Yeah, I think that would be fine. It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just got to get out of the studio on time. It kind of depends on what's going on. If I'm a little late, okay, I'll be there anyway.
Okay. We can push it back till 6 or 6:30, or I don't know how late you can go.
Yeah, I can go pretty late.
Well, Trump's looking like a hero in some parts of the world, and I guess we have to give him some credit for ending the war in Gaza. But it hasn't really ended the war, has he? It's sort of a ceasefire. But hostages were returned, which is a good thing.
Yeah, they could have done that at any point. This whole thing should never have happened.
Meaning it shouldn't have gone on this long. It should have.
Well, Hamas blew it. Let's put it that way. They blew it in a huge way. And, yeah. I mean, I'm not dismissing what Israel's done in Gaza, but what Hamas did on October 7th is damn near unforgivable. They didn't need to do that. There was nothing. There was no gun pointed at their head that said, you must do this. There's, the political fallout amongst, on the streets, one thing. You got the protests and the rallies and so forth, but they mean nothing. Certainly, the countries that were involved in the ceasefire would indicate that, and that was like Saudi Arabia and somewhat surprising to me, Qatar, along with the United States, and it's just bad all around. I can't think of any positive thing that's come out of this, not one. The Palestinians are right where they were. Actually, they're worse off. Israel now has Netanyahu looking like a hero, which is not a good thing. Netanyahu is basically, the Israeli answer to Trump.
Yeah, he's a war criminal. You think he'll ever be held accountable and go to,
No.
Of course not.
Yeah.
What would make you think that?
I don't know. I mean, I thought many people, Israelis, are not fans of Netanyahu. I don't know.
His numbers were way down, and he was right at the point of essentially completely, I don't know how to put this. Well, he was basically taking away power from the Israeli Supreme Court in a big way. It was a huge executive power grab, and he was setting himself up to be an authoritarian leader of Israel. And then Hamas goes and does this. It was suicidal on their part, and it enabled, let's just call it what it is, it enabled the fascist.
Yeah, it gave him a reason to go and, bomb the hell out of them.
Well, you can't argue that it was a distraction. I mean, these people live for these kinds of things. It was a gift to Netanyahu.
They needed a strong man, and there he was, right?
Exactly. Margaret Thatcher did the same thing with the Falklands, and Reagan did the same thing with Grenada. It's nothing like killing a bunch of people and to divert attention from the fundamental problems with your own administration.
Right.
I really need to write this stuff down before I start talking.
No. You're fine. But I think Trump is looking for an excuse here, and I hope we don't give him any on Saturday. They're just itching for the No King's March to go south.
If it's true that they're going to invoke the Insurrection Act, they're already planning on it. I mean, it's already in the works.
Yeah.
We'll see. Maybe I don't know how big of a chance it is that Trump would go that far. Maybe a 10% chance, because the reaction would be profound. The other thing you didn't really talk about this is, and I don't really know too much about it, but what happened on Sunday when Trump essentially told ICE that they can conduct warrantless searches. This is, an attack on the Fourth Amendment. Doesn't get much play.
I didn't look into that, but I will. Let's look into that one. Maybe next week. I want to thank you guys for being here and helping me sort through the stuff here. I always feel better having spoken with you guys. So thank you so much. And thank you for anyone listening to A Bold and Distant Future. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Scooter.
You got it.
Cheers.
All right, you too. Bye-bye.